Hello Libra, I am Ulrich. I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the financial card reading for the sign of Libra for the month of September 2021. The card contains 44 decks. You see 3 cards here in front of me that we will be using for this card reading. You can also see 4 objects here on the table, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Libra for the month of September 2021. Now, from these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, and probably one of these objects will then relate the best to your financial current situation or the advice that you are receiving from the cards regarding that financial situation. Of course, you can watch all 4 videos related to the Libra sign, and after you watched all 4 videos, you can then decide what symbol or object is fitting your personal card reading or financial situation the best. The matches here represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Libra, here we go for your card reading for September from this month. Hello Libra, and welcome to your financial card reading for the Shell Group or the Water Group for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting 27th of September, Mercury is running retrograde. It's not a good idea to sign contracts or agreements or arrangements during that time, because mostly afterwards there are some problems with the contract or some difficulties are popping up. Mostly, sometimes we want to get rid of the contract. We cannot anymore. There are complications with the contract. We did not read the fine print very well. There's all kind of complications during that time. Also, it's not a good idea to buy electrical devices, cell phones, housekeeping equipment like washing machines. Why? Because there are warranties to that connected. Sometimes there will go thing wrong with the warranties. There's all kind of complications during that period. So between 27 September and 18 of October, it's best not to sign any contracts. You will also see that during that period, there are more traffic jams, there are delays when you take the bus or you take the train, or your post is late, your mails are not arriving, packages that you want to receive are going in a wrong destination. These are all things that are connected to Mercury running retrograde. So my advice to you is not to sign any form of contracts during that period. If you feel urged to do so, or you cannot for some reason, double, triple check the fine prints. But my sole advice to you would be not to sign any contracts at all during that period. Now we start with the card reading here. The first card we hear is the card of proportions. What does this card mean? Well, everything in our life is done according certain proportions. So meaning we spend money, or we should spend money according what we earn. This is what it means here. So what does it mean in detail? So for instance, if we have monthly payments and we live in a poor country, and we have a large family, you understand that the monthly payment for the house is not the same as we have a very high salary we work with too, and we can easily pay our rent. $2 or €2 don't have the same consequence for a poor family as it has for a low income family, as for a rich family. It can mean the difference between eating or not eating. It's a very simple concept here that I try to explain. Maybe you don't count your expenses in terms of amounts, but rather in percentage. But here, this card tells you to find a balanced budget. Establish a relationship of magnitude between your outflow of your money and your salary. This card tells you it is what you spend in connection to what you earn, that you need to keep in a certain proportion balances. This is what this card tells you. So this card tells you to take a piece of paper, make categories, and calculate your real expenses and make categories what are important things for you and what are things that are not important to you. If you see that some categories are out of proportions, then you know you need to change some things for your spending of money. So this card tells you, like the next card, make the big picture, take the big pictures. And also this card tells you if you are living beyond your means. The next card is the price of our conscience here, or the awareness. So this card tells you the first step towards transforming our spending begins with awareness. So we need to think, or you need to think about improving your financial situation. This is what this card tells you. You are the only one who have that ability. This card asks you if you're living in denial and you hope for better days, or are you really aware of what you are spending? If this card is here, it has a certain purpose and it asks you that question. You are the only one who have the ability. You are the architect of your life and your sustainability. You have the power to change things, or you stay as you are. There's a lot of course, external elements also that influence our expenses, but eventually we are the manager of our own spending. So this card tells you to take some time to reflect, note your impressions, just as the other card tells you, list your present and future fears, list your hopes, your plans, and make plans for a better future and try to spend within your budget. It asks you to take a step back and give yourself the gift of perspective. Look from a distance up and see what you are spending. Don't get carried away by spending money, because if you do so, if you get always carried away, sometimes maybe one day you get in a difficult situation or you really hit the wall with your head. So don't be passive, be aware of your situation, think about solutions that could greatly improve your situation financially, that is. The last card here is the cards of deals. What does this card means? Well, probably if this card is here, you are probably weak for discounts and for buying articles that are discounts. Of course, the first thing we need to ask ourselves, are these things that you want to buy really in discount? Some people who do business are very smart. They adjust their prices. And even if you buy an article in discount, sometimes it's even higher or the same than the article, its original price. In another case, this points to maybe that you always buy small articles for small amounts. But the question is, do you really need those articles, these small articles? It asks you not to be overwhelmed and bewitched by sales. Keep yourself cool. Even though the price is reasonable, just try to avoid these discounted articles. By always looking for discounts, you probably spend more than you anticipated. And the question is, of course, is it really necessary? Probably not, because else this card would not be here. So also this card points to bulk buying. A lot of people who get this card buy in bulk. They buy in bulk because they get discounts again. But the problem is, if we buy in bulk, especially for foods, sometimes these goods expire in a very short period. Maybe by the end of the month, some of these articles are already expired, and you find yourself giving some things to your sister, to your brother, to your neighbors, to your children. And the question is, how much discount did you really have? Is this really economizing what you're doing? So this card tells you not to overflow your house with items that are discounted or things that will only accumulate or that you eventually bring to the recycle center. So this card tells you to ignore the offered discounts and liquidations and improve your own wallet. Take a big picture over your whole spending, and also buy in proportion of what you earn. This is the advice, Libra, that you get here for the water group for the month of September. If you like this card reading, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, There are 3 other card readings following here, financial card readings. You can check out the other 3. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello Libra, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air group for your card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting September 27, Mercury is running retrograde. It's not a good time then for signing contracts, agreements. Mostly if we do something go wrongs afterward, or we want to take our distance from the contract, we cannot anymore because we signed. You will also see that that you have more traffic jams, or you are delayed, or people who come to you are delayed. The bus is late. If you flights are canceled, these are all things that are happening with Mercury retrograde. Also, if you want to receive packages, sometimes the packages get lost. This is all part of the Mercury that is going retrograde. Also, it's not a good idea to buy new household equipment like laundry machines or even electronics like cell phones. Why? Because these are connected to warranties, and the warranties are connected to the contract, and sometimes there are problems with the warranties or the device itself. So it's better during this period. The general rule is not to buy anything, to sign nothing during this period. It's not a good time because mostly this is followed by problems or things that need to be changed. If, however, for some other reason, you are forced to sign a contract, or you see yourself urged to sign a contract, double, triple check all the fine print. So you're sure there's nothing wrong with the contract, that you understand everything till the details. It's very important, and then you check the details. But my advice would be to avoid problems, not to sign any contracts at all. Anyway, we go to your reading here now. The first card here is about organized gifts or spending, gifts that we give to other people. Probably this means Libra is a generous sign, so probably you are easy to give gifts to other people, and you like to take pleasure in spoiling the people that you love or people that are around you. But this card asks you to think wisely about that. Was the last toy that you bought for your child really necessary, or the toy that you gave to your nephew that was quite expensive? Will he love you less if you pamper him so much? This card asks you to know the real impact of these purchases and the impact that they have on your daily life and the total of your budget. Charity is fine when it's well ordered and when it's well organized, but this starts by yourself. This is what this card tells us. If your generosity leads to certain problems, and maybe it is, because else this card would not be here, and it contributes to your financial distress, it actually has no place. So before you give to others, even though it's kind-heartedness, secure yourself, secure your own future, build up a safety cushion, stimulate your own future, rather than to give things to other people, to trivia that you give to the loved ones. Take care of yourself first. Know how to remove the essential from the unnecessary, and you will be able to establish a wallet which allow you to maintain a healthy generosity towards others through the time and through the years, and everybody will love you just the same because you are a little bit less generous. The next card here is the card of remuneration. What does this mean? Well, probably you are a little bit out of balance. We saw that here already, and you're impatiently waiting, or you've done a lot of work and you hope that you get a raise, and you probably will get a raise soon. But you wonder about your current situation and possibilities for progressing more and earning more money with your company or with the company that you are working for. But this card asks you to think wisely. Do you really think that an increase of income or salary would do you the greatest good? This card tells you maybe not. It tells you not to be so sure about these things, because sometimes, regardless of what we earn or annual or monthly salary, what really improves our financial condition is the ability to adjust our spending according to our income. So this card tells you that probably an increase in salary will have no positive effect because proportionally we tend to spend more because we earn more. This is unfortunately often the case with most of us. So this card wants to make you think, and it wants you to take control over your expenses. So this card tells you it's imperative for you to learn to limit yourself. This, I only read what the cards tell here. So this card wants you to make an investment in yourself to manage better your daily expenses in relation to your earnings. So you can focus on increasing your income after you are already balanced out. And then this will have a very positive effect of you improving financially, making savings, and buying gifts at the right time, and you will not have been hurting yourself financially. The last card that we have here, it's all a little bit connected, is about the use of credit cards. Well, sometimes some of us have, despite our best intentions, we tend to use our credit cards very easy. Sometimes we don't want to use them, but we are so used to it that we lose track of our spending, and our memory is getting weak for the things that we spend regarding our credit cards. The importance of the things in our basket, sometimes it gets blurry. We don't know anymore exactly what we buy, and sometimes then when we buy small things or things that we don't really need, we get an accumulation of a lot of money that we didn't actually need to spend. And this card tells you, did you spend too much again? That's why we see the glasses here. So this card wants to help you. If you are easy to use your credit cards, this card asks you to put visual small reminders on your credit cards. For instance, you put a small sticker, and if you take the credit card out of your wallet, you will see the sticker. The sticker needs to be something that makes you reflect, that makes you think. It wants you to avoid the overuse of your credit card, and it wants you to change the way you shop. Also, this is about online shopping. A lot of us are buying things online in these days. And it asks you also for adjusting your passwords. For instance, you change your password in like truly necessary or reasonable. So if you give in these passwords, you will be forced to think twice before you confirm your transaction. Of course, you will need to change these visual reminders periodically, but your brain, because your brain will get used to them. They will get used to the visual aids that you put on the card, and of course, you will need to change them time to time. But the point of this card is that by being creative and administer these small reminders, you are more easy to adjust your tendencies for superficial spending, and you will get more, like your sign, a balance, because the balance is here not for some reason in the middle. It has a purpose. It has no coincidence here, so it has a reason that it's here in the middle. So you need to find the balance in your financial spending. Don't be too generous. Don't spend too much on your credit cards, and don't think that an increase in salary will help you that much. You need to learn to literally balance yourself here. So Libra, I'm only reading what the cards are telling here. I hope you enjoyed this card reading and you get some financial advance out of this. If you like my card reading, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading doesn't fit you at all, you can also watch the 3 other card readings connected here. Thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello Libra, and welcome to the Stone Group for the financial card reading for September 2021. I just want to mention in short that starting 27 September up to 18 October, Mercury is running retrograde. It's not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything that has to do with where you put your name under. It's not a good idea. If you do so, sometimes, most of the time, problems pop up with the contract. You want to get rid of the contract. You want to get out, but you cannot anymore. There's some clause in the contract and you need to keep connected. So during that time, it's not a good idea for signing contracts between 27 of September and 18 of October. You will also see there's more delays in traffic, your bus is late, you come late on appointments, your flight is delayed, your flight is canceled, packages that you need to receive arrive in your neighbor or somewhere else, they get lost. Things like that is all connected to Mercury retrograde, because our brain, our collective brain, the brain from all the people, is tending to work a little bit slower during that period. So my advice would be during that period not to sign any contracts. Also, it's best not to buy any electronic devices, housekeeping devices, because they are connected to warranties, and sometimes that leads to problems with the warranties because you didn't read certain clauses. So it's all a little bit connected, and it's best not to do so. But if for some reason you feel urged or you have no choice by signing the contract, I urge you to double, triple, to read the fine print in the contract. But my advice would be to you not to sign the contract at all. So here, the first card that we see here for your card reading is the value of small money. What does this mean? Well, sometimes we have lost a little bit the value of the coins. What does this mean? Well, a lot of small coins make a lot of money. So probably these days you pay little attention to these small amounts of money, and because we don't know the real value of money anymore. A large proportion of people who are struggling to meet ends experience sometimes the financial impact of the value of small money, especially on the long run. For instance, if think about it, if you give it sincere attention, if you look at a certain invoice and you see a small amount of the invoice, or you see advertisements of the type that everything is discounted, it's actually depreciating the value of your money. Because we consume more, and thereby we are blinding ourselves for financial clarity. We need to be aware that a lot of small coins create a 100 bill, and a lot of hundreds create thousands. We know this, but each coin is for great importance for you. This is what this card tells you. So we need to re-evaluate the value of our small money, even the small money in our pockets. If this card is here, probably you lost a little bit track of the small amounts of money. So this card asks you to give the small money, the little coins, back their real value and let it have its moment of glory. In doing so, you will quickly accumulate hundreds and put them into thousands and put them in savings accounts. This laying is all about financial learning. So this is no coincidence for the Stone Group, because all cards are connected to that. Here we have the card of financial education. So it means that we need to learn ourselves more, as the previous card, about money. So also, this is directly connected to your children. It asks you, this card, if you ever talk to your children about financial matters. As we all know, our housekeeping close to us, it costs money. So the money don't fall from the trees, even if we do our housekeeping. So, but sometimes we are, for instance, in a store and we need to pay for something, or our child tells us, Mom, can I have this, or Dad, can I have that? and you say, no, we cannot pay for it now. And then the child replies to you, of course you can buy it. Your wallet is full of credit cards. So this is what I mean with financial education. The children don't know the real value of your finances and of your money. And this card asks you to educate them in that field, to learn them the real value about money. Sometimes if we teach others, we learn ourselves also. This is the purpose of this card. It's important here that we learn our children what is the value of money, because we live in a society that is hyper consuming. But if you learn them how to budget their money, you learn them the real value of the money and of small coins of money, you would break this circle. So talk to your children about money, how to use it. You need to break the taboo. This is what this card tells you. Inform them, make them aware how to use money. So by teaching them how to use money, you will create a good foundation for them and for yourself. You will help them to improve, and also yourself, you will see money in a different point of view, together with the small bills here that need to get their respect back. The last card is also connected to it. It's one reading that is actually quite similar. The three cards are actually a little bit in the same area because they are green, so it's come from the same line. This is about the social pressure. I'm going to explain this. Human beings constantly compare themselves to their peers and to each other. So we live in a community, and this is what determines our place in relationships to others. So we operate in this society, and this is, as we know, a society of overconsumption. Our friends, neighbors, brothers, sisters are driving around in their new luxury cars, wearing designer clothes, expensive shoes, and you, for your part, sometimes you have difficulties to meet ends at the end of the month. This card tells you not to be fooled. Don't compare your financial situation to those of people around you or your brothers or sisters. We make our own choice every day, for we are solely responsible for the expenses that we make. So don't let others' financial appearances fool you. This is what this card tells you. This card suggests you to use your money wisely, use the small coins wisely. For instance, if it's about large amounts of money, you can, for instance, if you are put in front of a choice and you have a big expense, for instance, for a laundry machine or even for a car, you could make the balance for buying something that is very young, secondhand, or something that is very young and has an extended warranty. It would save you a lot of money, and you could use that money for savings or for another way to run your budget. This is what this card tells you. This card tells you to use the money that you have in a better way. For instance, for going to secondhand stores, buying things online that are new. Sometimes they are even in the package. They come with the warranty. They are not even used. So this card tells you to look for purchases like that. So coming back, what looks good on the outside for other people is not always so. So this card tells you, live to your own needs, your own abilities, define yourself in your social group, and only think about your own accomplishment and how far you have come so far. Your own accomplishments are more worth than the clothes that are very expensive, the shoes that are very expensive that you see in the media. So this card tells you, don't bend for social pressure, don't bend for your groups who buy the latest gadgets. Just think about your housekeeping, run your budget in a different way. Be smart with your money, educate yourself about money, and also have a value for the small money. So this is all the self. This is a very good advice here for the Stone Group that you get for learning how to budget yourself here for the month of September. So Libra, for this card reading, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all because you're in a total different situation, please check out the other 3 card readings. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello Libra, and welcome to the Matches or the Fire group. We will do your financial card reading for this month for your sign. The first card we see here is the card of overconsumption. What does this mean? Well, we live in a world from overconsumption. We all know this. We are daily confronted with advertisements. So sometimes our definition of essential obligations is no longer the same of that of our parents. These people were aspired to provide their basic necessities, but today our basic necessities have changed. A smartphone, as we all know, or a cell phone is a basic need. Internet access, and for some of us also travel abroad, is a necessity. Our society has evolved. This is what this card tells us. So essentials have been replaced also. So this card asks you to evaluate your real needs within this new concept society. And since also this card asks you also, now that we have all these advantages, all these things that we can consume, do you think that you are more happier than your ancestors? This is what this card tells you. This card asks you to reflect, because sometimes by consuming, it's like a drug. We overconsume and it blurs our perspective. We sometimes collapse because we buy things that are not really necessary. We lose sight of the very essence of life and the basic goods. Hyperconsumption tells this card, it blinds people. They think it makes them happy, but actually it's not. So this card asks you to determine what are your minimum needs and estimate your non-essential expenses. Make a balance for non-essential expenses. And it asks you, would you be less happy with all superficial attributes and items that you are buying? So this is about spending drift and spending too much. The next card is a general overview. What does this card tell us here? Well, it's about the price of our conscious or being aware of the situation that we are in. The first step here towards transforming ourselves is that we become aware of what we spend. This card asks you to improve your situation. You are the only one who has that ability. So this card asks you to stop living in denial and accept your situation and hope for better days. You are the main architect of your life and of the things that sustain you. You have the power to change things, to change them or bring them in status quo, leave them in status quo, or improve. Sometimes I'm aware that external elements have a very big impact on us, unforeseen events, and it can influence our budget, of course. But actually, the main thing of this all is the management of our daily expenses. This could make a real difference. So take some time to reflect, note your impressions, write down what you like about your certain conditions. Maybe because the other card is here also, you spend a lot too much on superficial things. Maybe you need to take a step back and you need to reflect on what you're spending. It asks you to write down your impressions, what you like about your condition, what you don't like about your current condition. List your present and your future fears, list your hopes, make an action plan for improving yourself. You need to be like a hawk in the air to look at your prey and get the big overview. It asks you to take a step back and look at yourself and give yourself the gift of perspective, what you are spending. We are all easy get carried away by life and spending and the wonders, but sometimes if we spend too much, one day we come in problems, or we can come in problems. Some of us literally hit the wall if they spend too much. So this card asks you not to be passive and take control of your situation. Think about solutions that could improve your existence, and try to not overspend. The last card is here that we need to see everything in proportions regarding our salary. What does that mean? Well, everything is relative, as we know, but this card tells you to put everything in proportion to what we earn. For instance, a monthly payment for the loan of someone's home is different for a person living in a poor country. If they need to manage with one salary and they have 3 or 4 children, and there's only one person who has a salary, $2 or €2 for those people is not the same as it is for people who have a high income who work with 2, compared to a low income family that has only few. It can mean the difference for these people that they eat or they don't eat sometimes, especially now with the harsh times we are experiencing. Also, people there who live in poorer countries are sometimes experiencing real poverty now due to these viruses. Maybe this card tells you you need to put everything in proportion. You don't need to live in poverty. That is not what this card says, but it tells you to live in proportion. It asks you to see the real cost of things. Maybe you no longer calculate in amounts, but rather in percentage. So this card asks you to find a balanced budget, establish a relationship between your outflow of money and your salary. This is what Libra normally understands very well. It asks you, as the name of your sign, to find the balance. So it actually fits your sign, because these are what these cards actually ask you, to find the balance, to not overspend, to not overconsume, to be aware of what you're spending. So this card asks you, the last one here, to see the importance of some disbursements that you make. You need to relativize your current expenses, educate yourself more over your expenses. So a way for this is to take a piece of paper, make categories of importance, calculate those expenses of these categories. Are there things that you don't need? Certain categories that are overspending and are over proportion, and then you need to ask yourself, do you really need these things? If your answer that you don't really need them is you don't really need them, well, then you need to take certain steps, and you need to become more conscious. You need to balance your source of income, your salary. You need to put everything in the balance. So here, these 3 cards ask you, you need to make the big pictures. Don't try to live beyond your means. I'm only reading what is in the cards here. Don't kill the messenger, that is what they say. So for the fire group here, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. I know these card readings sometimes can be a little bit harsh, but for some groups it's like that. We learn lessons from it, and we can adjust ourselves. So anyway, Libra, for the fire group, I thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it in a way. Thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye, and thank you.